Hello and a very warm welcome. I hope the day finds you well. Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for taking the time to join me, and thank you if you've subscribed and liked my videos. It's very much appreciated and it really helps my channel. I wanted to share a recipe for a farmhouse sandwich loaf, which I bake in two £1 loaf tins. Sometimes it's nice to have a smaller loaf for that smaller snack, or if making something like an afternoon tea. Here's your list of ingredients. Let's get started. I like to use my stand mixer to start the dough off, as it's so much easier. But you can of course do this by hand. In your mixing bowl, weigh out the flour, then add the yeast, salt and sugar, all to separate sides of the bowl. Give it a quick stir to combine, and then using your dough hook, slowly add in the butter. With the mixer on a slow speed, add in the water a little at a time until the dough starts to come together. You can let the mixer continue to knead the dough for you, but I like to get it out and knead by hand, as it gives you a better feel of the dough. Either way, you'll have to knead for around 10 minutes, but you'll feel when the dough is ready. Form into a ball and place in a lightly greased bowl and cover. Leave for at least half an hour or until the dough has doubled in size. I've really been struggling with my dough at the moment as it's so cold here. I'm using two £1 loaf tins, but you could also use a £2 tin if you want one larger loaf. Grease the tins well and set aside until the dough has risen. Once ready, scrape the dough out onto a work surface and knead again, folding it in on itself until the dough tightens. At this point, I weighed mine and cut it in half. Form each ball of dough into a log about the size of your tin. Gently press into the tin and dust with a little flour. Then cover and leave for a further 45 minutes to an hour. About 10 minutes before your dough is ready, preheat your oven and place a baking tray in the bottom. Once the dough is ready and your oven is hot, put the tins in the oven and pour some water into the tray at the bottom. This will create steam and help with that lovely crust. You could also use a spray bottle and just spray some water into the bottom of the oven, whichever is easiest, but it really does help the crust if you can do this. If you are baking 2 small loaves, they will need around 20 minutes, and a large loaf will need to bake for around 30 minutes. About 10 minutes before the end of the baking time, I like to remove the bread from the tin and then put back in the oven for the last 10 minutes, as this helps to form a nice crust all over the loaf. Once ready, remove from the oven and leave to cool on a wire rack. Then enjoy! Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you again very soon.